So this was a post-market analysis study studying the newest generation valve to that point for the Medtronic Evolut system of valves called the Evolut FX valve. And we had prior to this done a study in the previous generation Evolut valve called Pro or Pro Plus to really study the cusp overlap technique that we helped devise here at UPMC Central Pennsylvania. And this was basically a technique that was developed to reduce pacemaker rates with the Medtronic Evolut transcatheter aortic valve replacement system. This was a problem with the system dating back to kind of its inception, but it's something that we've worked on to really reduce. And with the cusp overlap technique in the original Optimized Pro manuscript, we were able to show a single-digit pacemaker rate in the North American cohort, which was excellent. That was 400 plus patients that were treated. In this particular analysis, we used the next generation valve, the Evolut FX system. And with the Evolut FX system, we were able to get a pacemaker rate of 6.7%, which for a multi-center study with this particular valve platform would really be best in class. And so that was really the main takeaway of the study. This was 151 patients scattered across about 11 sites across the country. Not only did we review the pacemaker rates, but we reviewed all of the other clinical outcomes that would be standard for other transcatheter aortic valve replacement studies. And all of those were shown to be as good, if not better, than prior generations of Evolut data. The other meaningful thing about this study that I found especially useful was the rates of aortic regurgitation or leakage around the platform were best in class as well. So 9% rate of mild aortic regurgitation. No patients had moderate or severe levels. And that meant that 91% of the patients had only none or trace levels of paravalvular regurgitation or total aortic regurgitation, which again, that data is really singular. Speaks volumes about the platform, the changes that have been made to it, and then of course the technique that we employ to deploy the valve. And I think that, that's a compendium of different things. I think the great thing about this technique is that it really optimizes all possible findings, right? So we saw really rapid procedural times. We saw patients leaving the procedure room with very few complications, pacemaker rates in the mid-single digits, rates of aortic regurgitation in the single digits. And then, of course, the vast majority of patients left the hospital the very next day significantly improved as a result of the procedure and the technique. So I think, all around, it was really just impressive outcomes across the board. Key takeaways are that using the cusp overlap technique with regards to the Evolut FX platform is going to produce best-in-class clinical outcomes. This study really examined that quite well. Something to come, we did CAT scans, CT scans on all the patients that were in this study, or the vast majority of them. And we're going to review those CAT scans and get a better understanding of contributors to the enhanced performance, success, low rates of complications, including permanent pacemakers. And then, of course, there's this aspect of the valve platform that we use for commissural alignment. That is, we're able to re-access the coronary arteries more effectively because of this one technique that we employ. We're going to be validating those techniques on the CAT scan analysis as well. And so the data that we collected here, this was just kind of like I would say a 30,000-foot view of some of the major clinical findings, but we've developed a really nice data bank to dig into for a lot of manuscripts in the very near future.